I want to tell you what I actually stopped doing manually in my business first. It's not going to sound impressive. It's not about looking clever, and it's not going to make for flashy marketing. It was something that genuinely shifted my mental load. You see, for a long time, lead generation sat in this strange space for me. It's not difficult conceptually. I knew who I wanted to work with, and I knew how to start conversations. I knew how to articulate what I did. The problem wasn't a lack of skill. For me, it was just the fact that it is so relentless. Every single day, there's this quiet question: who am I connecting with today? Have I followed up with everybody? Am I missing someone? Is my pipeline drying up? That used to be my 3 a.m. wake up thoughts. It was like a low level hum in the background of my brain. It wasn't dramatic, wasn't urgent, but it was constant. And constant, I find that exhausting. It's the part most people don't talk about because it's not big. It's not a dramatic burnout that's going to get you. It's the drip, drip, drip of daily consistency. For me, when something has to be done every day manually with intention and attention, it starts to feel like a second full time job, especially when you're running a business alongside real life. That could be alongside children, laundry, horses, alongside appointments and other unexpected interruptions. You see, lead generation, it's not glamorous work, but it is essential and it is repetitive. Search, evaluate, connect, message, track, repeat. And for a while, I believed that the solution was just to get better at it, to be more disciplined, block it off in my calendar, be more consistent. But that didn't change anything. It certainly didn't solve the mental load that I was carrying. It just made me feel like I was constantly behind and constantly chasing. So the first thing I stopped doing manually wasn't content creation, wasn't marketing, wasn't funnels, it was sourcing, lead generation, the who do I talk to every day part of my business. Because starting from zero every day is one of the most soul destroying, draining positions you're ever going to put yourself in. When you wake up and there's no structure waiting for you, your brain immediately goes into search mode. And search mode, that's going to burn your energy. So when I introduce structure into that one area of my business, not to automate the relationships that I have with my clients, and certainly not to replace me, simply to remove the sourcing grind, something quite significant shifted because I no longer had to ask, where do I start? The starting point was already there, and that changed everything for me. Because when the starting point is clear, you move. When it's vague, you stall. Most women I speak to are not struggling because they don't know how to sell. They're struggling because they're carrying too many open loops, too many unanswered questions, too many I should tasks floating around. And lead generation is one of the biggest open loops I come across. It sits there in the background whispering, you need more leads. You should be networking. You should be reaching out. You need to be more visible. And even on days when you don't act on it, it takes up space in your head. And what I realized is that the real relief wasn't in closing more deals, it was in quietening that whisper. When sourcing became structured rather than random for me, I stopped feeling behind. Even if I didn't message everyone on a given day, even if I chose to step away from my business, the system was holding consistency for me, not my willpower. And that's the shift I want you to understand this week. You don't need to automate everything. You don't need a complex technical stack. And you need to look at the one task that feels relentless and causes you pressure in your business. It's the one that requires daily mental input from you, the one that quietly drains you. And then you need to ask yourself, can this be structured? Not outsourced emotionally, not handed over blindly, just structured. Because when structure holds the repetition, you get to hold the creativity. When structure holds consistency, you get to hold the connection. And when structure holds the sourcing, you get to own the relationship. And that is the difference between feeling like you're constantly chasing and feeling like you're calmly building. I still believe in human connection. I still believe in thoughtful outreach, but I no longer believe that you need to carry the entire pipeline manually. That's not about being noble. It's too exhausting for me to comprehend doing that now. So if there's one practical takeaway from me this week, it should be this. Don't optimize the visible parts first. Optimize the heavy parts, the invisible mental load parts, the repetitive daily parts. Because when those lighten, everything else starts to feel much more possible. And if you want a gentle starting point for thinking about how to do that, then without diving into complicated tech, the Calm AI Quick Start Guide is linked below for you. It's not about becoming an AI expert. It's about removing your pressure. Because business shouldn't feel structured, or business should feel structured, not relentless. I'll see you next time.